Hi everybody, today's Tech in 10 is going to focus on the basic overview of the menus in Boardmaker Online. Now Boardmaker Online is used to create print and interactive activities. The interactive activities can be used on the iPad, smartboard, computer, and the printable activities can be used just like how you've been using them for cutting and pasting and things like that. Um, to log into your account, just go to the Educational Technology folder and you can find out how to do it through there. When you're in your account, this is what you'll come up with for the menu. Now let's go through some of these. A couple of these you will not see because you're not an administrator on the account as my account is, but we'll go through what you will have on yours. First and foremost is the home button. If you ever need to get back here, just click that. My Board Maker is what you go to in order to see the activities that you have in your account. You'll notice that when I clicked that, it brought up this. It shows all of my activities, folders, etc. listed right through here. We'll go through this more in depth in a little bit, but I want to continue going across the top bar here. The third menu will be curriculum, and in here you'll notice that there are different curriculum that Boardmaker Online put out. You'll notice if it's highlighted in red, that's something that you can use in your classroom. I know a lot of you guys use the core first learning for the core vocabulary, especially at the elementary level. Here is where you will see students. We don't use this because we're not going to keep student data within Boardmaker Online. Over here you'll see activities. Now this is an important part because under community activities is where you could go to search to find other activities people have uploaded to Boardmaker Online to use in your classroom. You'll see trending activities like circle time or grooming checklist. You could search here, so you might search, let's do weather, and you could see what comes up. Lots of stuff here. The nice thing about these, if you add these to your account, you can then edit them. So if you see something that's pretty close to what you want, but it's not quite, you could add or delete things from it and make it your own and save it for your own. So under activities, that's what you're going to see. Under premium activities, are some sample activities from Boardmaker Online and activity packs that are free to use. And then if you have an activity that's a file type of Boardmaker from a previous made on a disk or something, you could upload it to your account as well. So that's under all the activity menus here. All of these we could look at much more in depth, but for purposes of this technology in 10 minutes, we're going to just kind of go over the main features of these menus. Community is a nice place also to check out. You can look at any groups you belong to. You could browse groups and you can create a group. Now the nice thing about this is, let's go to browse groups for a minute. And you'll notice here you could search for different types of groups of people or topics that people have activities in. So I'm just going to go to, let's search for autism and see what comes up. Now I didn't do this search before, so I will see. All right, so you'll notice there's several different autism groups with different interests, a speech one. It's just another good way to find groups which might have activities that are what you are looking for. You could also create a group within our organization, and that's important because if you create a department group, then you'll have access to everybody's activities within the department. We could look at that if that's of interest to you, and I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it because with these accounts, things kind of get muddled and murky and unorganized. So if you have a language therapist group that you could join as a language therapist and organize your activities, it's a great place to share activities within there. So that's all under community. Help is another nice place to go to if you have a question. Searching the community forums is also a nice place to go to see if you have an issue and we're not available and you need help. That's a great place to use. So when you log into your account, this is going to be the menu on the top. Remember, it's your home. My Boardmaker is where you're going to find your content. Curriculum is going to be where you find Boardmaker curriculum we subscribe to. Activities is a place to go to search for activities or upload your own activities. Community is where you're going to go to find groups or create a group within our organization to share activities. And help is where you can go to ask questions. Okay, so this is the top menu here. For the rest of this Tech in 10, I'm going to go back to my Boardmaker and look at some of the features on my Boardmaker page. Okay, you'll notice all of my activities listed here that I currently have under my account. When you have an activity, you'll notice menus over here. The nice thing about them, if you hover over them, they tell you what it is. Edit, you can play the activity, you can add it to a playlist, you can move it into a folder, you can delete the activity. Okay, if I can't find something I'm looking for, you could search for it. And this is why I tell people, when you make an activity, the label or the name is the most important thing when you save it. If it's around a certain theme or topic or essential outcome, I always label it essential outcome 1. That way when you're going back to look for it and you say you didn't put it in a folder, you could easily find your content. Okay. Up here are 4 different items: create activity, create an activity set, upload an activity, or create a folder. For purposes of this, we're going to just look at create activity for the last few minutes here and everything involved with that. So if I click create activity, a window is going to pop up. It says I can create a blank activity from scratch, or I could use any of these pre-made templates to make an activity. I'm just going to go quickly to a blank activity first. That's going to load my blank canvas, which will look just like any old Boardmaker when it was on the software and things like that. And that's going to allow you to create more of a static page that you then might print, that you don't want any other pre-existing template defined to use. So it's more of the blank canvas. All right, so here's my blank canvas, and this works just like any old Boardmaker activity does. You can add your boxes, and then you could add content to your boxes. And you get the idea. And then when you're done, you could save your activity. You could play your activity. You could preview it. I'm just going to go to play. And because this is just your printable, there's not much you can do with this on this page. Okay. So that's basically creating your static pages that you're most likely going to use to print, or for an activity if you want something on the board while you're doing the activity. Okay. That being said, you can also double click them and you could add labels to each. So if you want this to speak the label, oops, let me delete some of that. You would select speak label and hit save. And then when you go play that,
horse,
it's going to speak the label. So there's a lot of other options way beyond the scope of this. But again, for purposes of this Tech in 10, I'm going to delete this right here. I'll leave it. I'm going to go back to create activity again. And you'll notice all of these templates. Now these templates are great because if you don't want to create something from scratch, you simply can use a template. For purposes of this, I'm going to go down to sorting. And you'll notice all of these different options of pre-made templates. You'll also note some of these are printable, some of these are interactive if you're going to use it on the smartboard or the iPad or the computer. Okay. Just going to look at this one quick. I'm going to select it. Again, it's going to go to my editing window here. Once that loads, it basically will tell me how to create this activity. It says place symbols or text for items in group 1 into the buttons above. Blank buttons will automatically be hidden. Same thing for group 2, same thing for group 3. So if you're sorting 3 different categories of things, this is what you will choose. This is going to be your correct answers. You could add the titles here as well. when the activity actually starts, it's going to place all of them down here for sorting. So all of these template activities, when you go on them, and give you the directions in red. Some of them are a little more confusing and take trial and error. Don't forget about your undo and redo buttons. They're my best friend. And then once you're done creating it, you could preview and play it. And don't forget to save it also at the end. Okay? I'm going to go back out of here again. So this quick technology in 10 basically looked at your main menus in Boardmaker Online, where you can find different pre-made activities. You could go to your playlists or your activity sets. You can find help. We also looked at under your Boardmaker how to create an activity in basic form between the basic blank templates and also using pre-made activities. And that was the purpose of this quick 10-minute video. We could get a lot more in depth with any of these, and definitely let me know if you'd like to do that. But for now, that was Tech in 10 for the basic Boardmaker Online menus. Thank you for watching.